Today we're going to do a rear brake job on a 2015 Taurus. Obviously you can tell by looking at this rotor that we're going to be doing the rotors and pads. If you just want to do pads, your rotors need to look like this. If they're nice and shiny like that on both sides, you can get away with just pads. As soon as they look like this, any grooves or cuts or roughness to them, you're doing both. Alright, now to do this job, you're going to need a T40 for that. If it's never come off, you're going to want to use an impact screwdriver, which you just place it in there and hit it with a hammer and it'll remove it for you. It's not really necessary, it just holds it in place during installation, but sometimes they're hard to get out. You got 13 millimeter on the bolts here, and you got a 15 millimeter to get the bracket off, which we're going to have to take off in order to get the rotor off. If we're only doing pads, we'd only need to take off the top section here, the caliper bracket, and the pads. Now this has an integrated e-brake with a spring on it. This one requires a tool to compress the spring because you have to spin it as you press it. You can't just press it in, so you have to spin the caliper as you push it back in because it's compressed. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take all that off and then we'll put the rest on. The kit that we're going to be installing today was from Rock Auto. $119. They do different tiers, and this was the highest tier. 119 bucks shipped. Comes with the pads, all new hardware, and 2 rotors. So the next step here is going to be, I already pulled the pins out and put silicone on them and cleaned up the pins, which these just pop off here. The pins just slide out, clean them off, put new silicone on. So we're going to get these pads out, get the old hardware out, probably have to file it down. I usually use a file and clean it up, get any rust off. And then I'll put the new pads in. Alright, so we've got the caliper off here. We already pulled these out, cleaned them up. Which, to take these out, you just kind of twist them a little, make sure you don't tear the boot. They slide out, take the old grease off, wipe them down, make sure they're smooth running, push them back on. They'll pop on like that. If they're moving nice and smooth, then you're good. Your caliper bracket's good. Everything's good. We're going to get the hardware out, which isn't going to be very hard to do. Probably just pop it out. These were done about 50,000 miles ago. It's time to do them again. So we're going to take the old hardware out. Always something, right? It's not going to come out now. I'll get a little screwdriver here. Hold on. Oh, it's in my pocket. There we go. All right. Out. Sometimes these will come out easy, sometimes they'll come out hard, but I guess that's the easiest way to get them out. Go in there, a little twist. And after you get them out though, you're going to really want to clean up the insides because they're tight from any rust and debris. So before you try to put new hardware in there, this kit came with the hardware. I like this angled file because you can file straight down and then turn it a little bit to do the sides. You don't have to replace the hardware, but if you replace the hardware, it should slide a little better. You might as well, because it comes with this kit. Not every kit comes with hardware though. Alright, let's see now. I'm trying to make sure you can see this on the video here. Oh yeah. Pops right in there. Alright, it's not too hard to do. So it has a lip on the inside and a lip on the outside. So you put the inner lip over, then push down until it catches on the outside. Make sure they're in there nice and good, because you're not going to have a lot of too much wiggle room with the new pads. This one. And there is the last one. Alright, so there's your new hardware. They all come with grease usually, but I usually just use this. Somebody else recommended, but I have 400 packets that come with other ones sitting around here. I always like to try to test fit the pads, make sure they're going to fit first. So it's going to go back in the car like this. And make sure your hands don't have any grease on them. You don't want to get any grease on the surface of these pads or on your rotor. Otherwise, you'll screw it all up. Alright, so let's see if these fit in here without any filing. That would be good. Sometimes you got to file a little off. You want them to be have a little movement, because they got to slide in and out. So there should be a little in and out. Well, these are pretty good. It's pretty decent. Make sure they both fit, and then I'll take them out and grease them, and they'll be good. Let's see here. Yep. All right. Yep. If you can get them in there and they wiggle around a little bit, they're good. Because every time you press on those brakes, you have a little pressure on them. Alright, so all I'm going to do is take these out, re-grease them, throw grease on the ends, all the contact points, stick them back in. Alright, that's the end of this part, and that's just going to go. I already compressed the spring, so. Now before we put anything back on, you want to clean every surface. So I cleaned the hub behind here with brake clean and a wire brush. You want to clean all these sides just to make sure there's no debris, so things will be off kilter. Any of the caliper pads anywhere around here, just hit them with a wire brush and brake clean just to make sure everything's good. The caliper is already compressed, so we're ready, so I can put the bracket back on, and then after that I'm going to slide the preloaded, where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Pads already on there and greased, pins cleaned. That's going to go back on, and then we can just slip the unit with the caliper and the e-brake, all that right over it. Alright, all the new stuff's on there. Before we put this on, we also greased the caliper face and the faces of this, that we don't have any noise. So you got grease up top. Want to make sure you don't get any grease on here. No grease on this guy, and you'll be good to go. Oh, got a little on there, so you gotta wipe it off now. The brake clean. You don't want to have any grease on there, so. Get rid of that. Don't want to have any grease on there. Any grease is going to be a problem. Sometimes you get a little when you put the pads in, but. Alright, I'm done. The only problem was getting that rotor off was a real pain in the ass. It'd been stuck on there for a while, so what I did to get it off was I just hit all the holes with PB Blast, spun it a couple times, hit it with PB Blast again. It sticks here on the inner lip. That's where it sticks. So I hit some PB Blast in there too, and then you hit it with a sledge, hit it from all angles. Hit it on the edge, hit it here. The problem with this one, there's only a tiny little window to hit it from the back. If you got a big window, this dust shield's in the way, and there's only a little window here from the dust shield to hit it. So you really got to whack it from the front to loosen it up, and then you got to tap. You got to tap from the back, but you don't have a lot of room in here to swing a hammer, because this is where you got to swing it, and there's really not a lot of real estate. So other than that, that took maybe 5 minutes of whacking to get that off. Other than that, that's it. Nothing, no tricks. But while you're in here, get a pry bar on all your suspension parts, your tie rods and your control arms and everything, and just make sure nothing's wiggling or rattling or loose, and check all the bushings too while you're in here. But yeah, that's about it. Enjoy. Alright, finished up rear brakes 2015 Taurus. This is all the stuff that I used. Not everything you'll need, but if you've never taken off this retaining bolt in here, you're going to need an impact to get it off. But if you've taken it off before, it's not a big deal. That's a T40. The caliper bolts are 13 millimeters. The bracket bolts are 15 millimeters. So I guess you use sockets sometimes and wrenches other times. You need a brake tool to compress the back because it's a spring-loaded caliper and it twists in. It doesn't push in, so you're not going to be able to push it. We got a file here for filing down the brackets before you put the new hardware on. A little wire brush to clean off the rust. PB Blast helps get the rotors off. Silicone for the pins. Copper for the pads. Brake cleaner to clean everything up. Other than that, that's about it. It took about 2 hours, but about 20 of that 10 aside was letting the PB soak and hitting it with a hammer to get the old rotors off. So probably closer to about an hour and a half. And I've done this before. These are about, they had 50,000 miles on them, so I just redid them. And that's it. So good luck, everyone. And if you like this type of stuff, I try to make videos here and there, and subscribe if you want to see more. Alright, bye-bye.